Hello, everybody. What's up to you? Hey, I'm trying to stay in on this crazy afternoon. The snow is just hitting down here in Ohio. Um, I hope you have the. I hope it's better weather where you're at. Well, I heard about. Of course, the last couple of weeks been really about this college football coach, and I'm gonna chime in. But first, before we get to him, let's see what started. Shout out to Carcino Life. This would happen a couple years ago in Michigan to another football coach.
Oh yeah, here we go. Step right up. Get ready for the show. I told you Cino's back. Now, I had a video done on this that I didn't even put out. I just went ahead and destroyed it. I said, eliminate that video. Don't even put it out. Because we've learned more information. So I'll just make a whole new fresh video. Nothing was wrong with the video. I'm just saying it just didn't have a lot of the information that I have today. So rather than milk you guys with two videos, we just make one and get it all out. Now, Mel Truck Tucker. Old Mel Tucker, boy. He was out there hot sticking. He wanted this woman so bad. He was thirsty. Thirsting for her. But was he a target of a bigger picture? You see, they had the hearing for his sexual harassment case, right? He didn't even show up. Former Michigan State University head coach Mel Tucker. And he had low-level staffers whose job was to plan all of the, what you would call the, arrangements or visits for the university. This wasn't done just by Mel Tucker. And see, this is what people are not going over. So these guys will call in for the interviews because they're witnesses. You see, Michigan State universities used an outside investigator. Each had been involved in arranging or canceling the campus visits by Brenda Tracy, who was the sexual assault survivor, right? And she filed a complaint against Tucker last December. Now, according to some of her text messages, she had $5 to her name. She didn't have a lot of money. And she was going to universities, basically getting paid, talking to their students, and using this to try to go from university to university. And in one text message to her friend who died later on in a car accident, it was very weird to the family how she was at her friend's car accident. Her friend is fighting for her life. This woman also was like the person that kept her schedule, made plans for her, and all these different things of that nature. She also, while she's dying, she's asking for her phone records. She want that phone. And it was like my gosh, they couldn't believe, right? Why is she trying to fight to get the phone records? What is so important that she don't want seen in these phone records? Well, Mel Tucker's lawyers found the text messages, has hundreds Stoudemire, who's a married man. I think he's Georgia State's one of the Hornets or something. I think he's their head coach. That she was also dating him. She was dating a DJ, and then she moved up to him. So she was like, she's come up. Now, the way this thing went about that seems to be crazy is that Tucker canceled Tracy's planned return visit to the campus, and then this is when she was talking about his inappropriate behavior, and he was reported to the university by Tracy after she was refused, or they pushed back and canceled her visit. Now, she's saying because she didn't, like his sexual advances, this was the reason why. And Mel was saying that this was consensual for a while. And her text messages to her friend proves it.
Attention network marketers and direct sellers. Stop prospecting, period. You don't need to do it. Here.
Wow. And this is in wake of what I'm about to show you. And I'm going to tell you how the media plays a big part. Let me show you what happened with this other coach. Similar situation to these guys. But you tell me what the different situation is. I'm going to show you right quick on this tablet. You can come up a little bit. This coach got caught doing something, and for some reason, he had to resign from Ohio University. Now, Ohio University is not a major 10 school, but they didn't blow his story up like that, like they did this one. Let me see. Damn, I don't know what's going on with my shit. Oh shit, hold on. There's a similar situation that happened, and all of a sudden the coach had resigned. No one said nothing about this. Hold on. Hopefully this video will come through. And he was placed on administrative leave. It didn't make major news. I don't know what's going on. Excuse the buffering. Trying to get it up. I guess the video's still trying to get through. But when you see this coach, he was a head coach at Ohio University, not Ohio State University, Ohio University, the Bobcats, and they did pretty good. But it was a similar situation. Something must have get involved with his personal life, and didn't even make the news, like Mel Tucker and them did. And of course, I think Ohio University is part of the Big 12. God, what's going on with this video? They didn't make national news or nothing. I just thought that's kind of odd. At the same time that this is going on with this case, which both cases was wrong. If you're a married man, you should not be involved with a woman outside, a side chick, especially if it's someone on your staff. In the case, it was on the staff with Sherrone Moore and pretty much with Mel Tucker. I'll just wait on that. I don't know what's going on. Oh man, hold on. Let me. Hold on.
Here's the proof.
but they weren't admissible. A judge has decided to uphold her going to court, filing a block on Mel from using her text messages because the text messages wasn't for him. That was between two other parties. So he can't use these text messages that basically exonerates him. But it proves to the rest of the world that she was lying or was very untruthful about her relationship with Mel. Now, she was planning a return visit to the campus before she was terminated. But she said she was punished for not going along with his sexual advances. And by doing that, he pursued her for months romantically. And after hiring her to speak to his players, he pursued to get with her again on phone calls, during which she complained. Her complaint was that he made all these comments and that he pleasured himself without her consent. And because of that, he canceled her training session with the football team, which had been planned for that July. Tucker said he and Tracy had a romantic relationship and that the call was a consensual phone sex call. The cancellation, he said, was the result of a scheduling conflict, a claim that records obtained by the investigation proved to disprove. And this is what's the problem with Mel changing his story. Had he been truthful from the jump, this would have been a different situation for him. But to protect himself, he said that. But as the investigation went on, they realized Mel was lying about that. He wasn't honest about it. None of the three football staffers told the investigators they witnessed anything inappropriate or unusual between them. But, however, one said Tucker had previously given them a different reason for the cancellation that contradicts Mel's story about his own account of what happened. Now, the lady, Alana Alvarado, the one who died in the car accident, that was her booking assistant. She's the one that does all the booking for her. You know, she had provided the investigator with emails and text messages that corroborated aspects of Tracy's versions of the events, right? And refuted aspects of Tucker's, Mel Tucker's thing before she died in the crash in June. So she made sure she sent over all the text messages that would make it look like Mel was, stalking her. So without recordings or eyewitnesses, and these cases are often hinged on third-party recollections of events before these events happened and anything else in question, with circumstantial evidence that could speak to the credibility of the people that's involved. So you got a set of people, as far as they know, who have no reason not to be truthful with the investigator. They ain't got no stake in the outcome. So that's pretty much strong evidence that they're saying is probably accurate. If you look at it, what would they care about it? Now, there was one guy in charge of the calendars and the travel. That was Will Price. And Will Price, he worked for Colorado before he came here. And he had the similar role. And he got hired by, I think, Michigan State. When he came there, he brought him with him. So Price had a Tracy's visits in 2022, and according to his statements to the investigators.
Here, that's right. Here it is. This guy named Brian Smith. This didn't make national news like this Sherrone Moore did. This was a similar situation, but it cost him. He had to.
Ohio University football is facing a cloud of mystery. First-year head coach Brian Smith has been placed on paid leave, and nobody, absolutely nobody, is saying why. The school announced the suspension on December 1st, calling it for an undetermined period of time. That's it. No details, no explanation, just silence. The timing is raising eyebrows. Smith, 45, guided the Bobcats to an 8-4 record in his inaugural season, earning a ticket to the Frisco Bowl against UNLV on December 23rd. He'd been with the program for 3 seasons as an assistant before taking over last December when Tim Albin left for Charlotte. According to his attorney, Smith was asked to leave in the middle of the workday with zero context. There are no allegations, no charges, and his lawyer denies any wrongdoing. Yet the campus is buzzing and frustrated. Abby Wachter, editor of the student paper, blasted the university in a scathing letter. This silence is not neutral, it's reckless. Some speculate the move might be financially motivated. Smith's contract, finalized only in October, has a base salary around $850,000, but it carries a $2.5 million buyout. Firing him before December 1st would have triggered the full payout. By placing him on paid leave without terminating him, Ohio University might be sidestepping a potentially massive buyout while avoiding wrongful termination claims. Smith is also navigating personal challenges. His divorce was finalized earlier this week, but court filings clarify the suspension isn't tied to his personal life. Athens police have received no reports of misconduct, and his ex-wife says she does not know what the specific issues are. In the meantime, defensive coordinator John Hauser has been promoted to interim head coach to lead the team through bowl preparations. For now, the Bobcats, the fans, and the college football world are left in suspense. Questions linger. Why now? Why the secrecy? And how will this shake up the program's momentum heading into the Frisco Bowl? Could this mysterious leave reshape Ohio University football forever, or is it just a temporary bump in the road? Don't forget to subscribe to Newsline.
Now you tell me, you didn't hear nothing about that, did you? The police said it was nothing. His ex-wife said it was something. And even though that this stuff was pretty severe with Sherrone Moore, but look what happened to Mel Tucker.
According to his statements to the investigators, the one she attended and the one that she canceled at the last minute, he had been present the first time Tracy spoke to the team back in 2021, and his recollections of why Tucker canceled the July 2020 visit differed from Tucker's report. Now, whereas Tucker blamed a scheduling conflict with his, with Tracy Price, he remembered Tucker saying he didn't want a sexual misconduct training to be the players' first activity when they returned back from summer break. He didn't want that to be the first thing they do.
I've actually been watching Formula One since I was 7 years old.
Wow. Well, you see how there's a certain standard in America. I'm not excusing that. This was pretty bad. This stuff was pretty bad with Sherrone Moore.
What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate support. Now, I've been watching this story ever since it unfolded a few days ago. What was it, 2 or 3 days ago? And it's about ex-Michigan Wolverines college head coach Sherrone Moore, who was recently fired a few days ago and then arrested the same night. He's charged with, now he's in court today, and I'm just now finding out what his charge was because the rumors was all over the place. He's, at his arraignment, he was charged. His charges include home invasion, stalking, and breaking and entering. Supposedly, when he got fired for having an inappropriate relationship with, now you see these women up here, they're in the picture with him. The one on the left that he's hooked up with is his wife. The one on the right is supposedly the mistress or whatever, or associate, what do they call them? Assistant at U of M that he was supposedly, evidence came out that they was having a fling. And he got fired for that. This guy made $30 million a year coaching football. And he's in his 30s. I think they say he was 34 or something like that. He's young. You're making $30 million a year.
He's 39.
And now, you're in a position where they got him, they talking about mental health and all kind of stuff. You're the coach that lead men to battle, and you're doing some of the craziest shit out here. Listen, look at what they got right now. He's in court, and the audio was bad, so I couldn't show you that. So let's just look what they got right now.
University of Michigan football coach Sherrone Moore was at the pinnacle of his career. But in the space of a few hours, his world has come crashing down. He was fired from his $30 million job. He was accused of cheating on his wife. He was investigated for a suspected assault, and he was being held in mental health protective custody.
A shock in the world of college football. It's just been a stunning 24 hours.
In a statement, the university declares credible evidence was found that Coach Moore engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. U of M maintains zero tolerance for such behavior. 39-year-old Moore is married with 3 children. The woman involved was not identified, but as word of his termination was spreading, police were called to the home of his executive assistant, 32-year-old Paige Shiver. Published reports said that a woman called police from Paige's home late yesterday afternoon, claiming that Moore had attacked her and had been stalking her for several months. A little less than an hour later, Moore was found at a church 7 miles away, amid fears that he may take his own life.
A victim here, he did put a knife to his throat and ran off.
This takes the scandal into completely uncharted territory. We have never seen something like this before. This story has absolutely rocked not only college football, but all of sports.
Authorities have not announced any charges for Moore. The coach remains in custody in the county jail and is due in court tomorrow.
We begin at 5 with live pictures here at the Washtenaw County Jail in Ann Arbor. Sherrone Moore, the former coach of the winningest program in college football history, is in custody in the jail right here. Tonight, we dig into unheard 911 dispatch audio and what this saga could mean for the future of this storied program. Right off the top here at 5, the Washtenaw County prosecutor expects Moore to appear in court tomorrow to be arraigned on the charges.
But right now, we don't know what those charges.
Tired of the stress of finding tenants? Meet Furnished Finder, your easy solution to filling your rental property with.
Assalamu alaikum. Thanks to all my subs and supporters who watch, like, share, and comment on the videos. It's greatly appreciated. Anybody who would like to support the channel, the link to my book, The N-Word is No Secret in the Service, is in the description of every video. We also have the Runaway Slave store, link in the description. Go grab yourself a souvenir or something like that. Let's cook. Okay. Young brother right here by the name of Sherrone Moore got caught up in a snow bunny storm. Like many, he fell victim to the snow bunny storm. Now this young brother right here, Sherrone Moore, he was the head football coach at Michigan. Michigan Wolverines, young black man. I guess doing great, on top of the football world. They say that this job at Michigan is one of the biggest coaching jobs in college sports, period. He had that.
To win on the road in this environment when there were doubts. Sherrone, what does it mean to you?
I want to thank the Lord. I want to thank Coach Harbaugh.
it had to be about a year ago or whatever. I was like, yeah, I know the story. Black man on TV crying over football, The Voice, you know what I mean? And then everything else added up, you know, after that. Well, this dude right here, Sherrone Moore, used to be the head coach, University of Michigan, got fired. He went head first, straight kamikaze style, into a Snow-Becky storm. Got caught up, the football trap. Biggest job in college football. Now, he was just terminated by the university on Wednesday, December 10th, for what they say is an inappropriate relationship with a staff member, okay? So they're saying, allegedly, that this brother right here was in a relationship with a snow bunny by the name of Paige Shiver. Now, this woman named Paige Shiver, she was his executive assistant, his assistant, secretary type, you know what I mean? Now, the problem is, first they say that he's not supposed to be messing with her, and then this brother Sherrone Moore, they say he's a man of God, wife, 3 children, yes, of course, married to a snow bunny, yeah. And listen, they fired him for that relationship. And after he got fired, he just went nuts. He went nuts. He was arrested. Why was he arrested? Well, we know why he got fired. Why was he arrested? Well, there are different police departments and people from the white community out in the state of Michigan who are saying certain things about what happened. There's this city of Saline Police Department. They assisted in detaining him and finding him, okay, this Sherrone Moore. And they said in a statement that he was turned over to the Pittsville Township Police Department for an investigation into potential charges. This was right after he got fired, people, okay? Now they say that this dude went nuts. He's currently in jail right now, and they're investigating an assault. Now people with connections, they say that first this dude, Sherrone Moore, went to his wife. He told his wife that he wanted to commit S, you know what I mean? Then he goes to this Paige girl's house, the assistant, allegedly, and said he wanted to blow her beak off. He said he wanted to take her out. He wanted to push her. She called the cops. Boom, he took off and fled the scene. That's what the police are saying. He is definitely 100% in custody. He's sitting in a jail or a county jail somewhere looking stupid. Was just the head coach, Michigan. Now he's sitting there looking stupid over getting caught up in a snowstorm. Check him out.
To win on the road in this environment when there were doubts. Sherrone, what does it mean to you?
I want to thank the Lord. I want to thank Coach Harbaugh. I love you, man. I love the shit out of you, man. This is for you. For this university, the president, our AD, we got the best players, best university, best alumni in the country. Love you guys. These fucking guys right here. These guys right here, man. These guys did it. These guys did it, man. Not to him, man. Love you.
Thank you, Coach.
See, when I see these fake family and football Negroes acting like that on TV, I don't see what other people see. I don't see all that, oh, he's passionate or whatever. You know, I don't believe that, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, it all makes sense, okay? It all makes sense. When you see a dude acting like that, later on, doing something stupid, immature, acting like a student to where he's going, telling his wife he want to push himself. He goes, tells the little white girl, jump off, oh, I want to do this. You know what I'm saying? Young black man had a big time job. Now he's sitting in jail looking stupid over a snow bunny. Couldn't handle himself, too immature, didn't know how to control himself, okay? Now, people, you know, a lot of these times, these Negroes like him are set up because they know who will fall for this bait, you know? These faith, family, and football type Negro, they love white people. They're very easy prey. These guys are very easy prey to be set up for this type of stuff. Sometimes it may just, the whole job may just be a setup. You know what I'm saying? To fulfill a quota. Yeah, who knows, man? You see what they did at Michigan to the Spartans. Now we talking about the Michigan Spartans to that coach Mel Tucker a few years ago. Mel Tucker, fired by Michigan State University, 2023. for some kind of some SH harassment complaint by white trash named Brenda Tracy. Now, this woman is supposed to be an activist. I did a story about this back in 2023 when this happened. Okay? So basically, this guy, Mel Tucker, all he did was got on the phone and sent some nasty messages back and forth with this lady, Brenda Tracy. That's all he did. Didn't touch her nothing. She got upset, went to the school, boom, said, I'm suing everybody. That simple. This man had the highest paid college football coach job at that time. He's out of here over some white trash. This chick right here, Brenda Tracy, when you look at her history, she goes way back in the state of Oregon. Way back when she was like 19, she was already a 19-year-old single mother, and she went over a house with a bunch of players who played on the football team at Oregon and did some things with them. They did this, took turn, all this other stuff, and then she comes out years later talking about how this happened to her. So then she went on to be some kind of activist who these white people let go to different schools, and she's around all the coaches and football players. Why would it just, that alone is whiteness. Whiteness alone allows her to do that. And this dude, Mel Tucker, fell for the okie doke. Although he didn't go touch her, dude, you that stupid? Why would you even talk to her, man? Got taken down by local white trash. But these are the type of guys, these Mel Tuckers, these Sherrone types here, these are the type of Negroes, these raceless type Negroes that white people do prefer in these positions. You know that. Y'all know that, man. If you go in these positions being aware and conscious of who you are and your people, as a black person, very seldom will white people want to give you this type of job or position, even though you are overqualified for it. So let me ask you people, what do y'all think about this situation? The young brother right here that got caught up in this snowstorm with the snow bunny, he's mentally unstable. Do you think that they just gave him this assistant right here, old Page, knowing that he was going to fall right into the trap anyway? Because sometimes they do that. I mean, Page may even be working for somebody who wants that job. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. Her name is Paige Shiver. Now, they say that she was knocked up by Sherrone, the coach, and he forced her to get rid of it, and he even put a knife to her and all this other stuff. Now, what's very weird about this white girl right here, Paige, she started out as an assistant. Her salary was $58,000, okay? $58,000. When Sherrone comes in, less than 2 years, a year and some change, he bumps her salary up to $90,000. That's a 55% raise, people. That's why people are looking like this, like it's something definitely going. It's all this alleged stuff, but they know that a lot of this stuff is true. You know what I'm saying? As far as them saying, that's why he wanted to go over her house and push her and all this stuff. The boy is sick. Okay? Then people are saying, oh, you talk this faith, family, and football stuff, but you got a wife and 3 kids. You stalking this woman, you forcing her to get rid of, you know what I mean? You done doubled her salary. So look, what do y'all think about it? You know, I know a lot of y'all don't care about these. I don't either. It's just a story right here to just show.
I want to buy your house.
Yeah.
I can pay you cash for your house, no matter what condition it's in. If you need to sell your house...
What's going on, guys? Jay the Black here. Shout out to everyone that's tuning in. I want to talk about the now former Michigan head football coach, Sherrone Moore, was fired reportedly for cause for having an inappropriate relationship with a female staffer. This kind of mirrors the situation that happened with Ime Udoka. He got fired due to an affair he had with someone who worked in the offices for the Celtics. Also, this also mirrors what happened at Michigan State. Mel Tucker, who was fired for having an affair with a woman who was, I guess, working with the program
doing some work with the program. This is not a good look if everything is true. It looks to me that they may have hired private investigators to find out. Now, I would think Sherrone Moore, who I don't think is a dumb guy, would be idiotic enough to have an affair with a woman openly in the athletic department. But some of these guys are so arrogant and so cocky that they would probably do this openly thinking that nothing would happen or not caring about consequences. Now, Sherrone Moore, is married to a woman by the name of Kelly Moore. He's married to Kelly Moore, and he's having, according to reports, he's being fired because of an affair he had with another woman. This is not a good look whatsoever. This is the second black head coach, Michigan coach, because you have the Michigan State, former Michigan State head coach Mel Tucker get fired for messing around with women while head coach who working with the athletic department. And now you got Sherrone Moore being fired for something similar. This isn't a good look. This shows me that these guys lack discipline. These guys do not know how important their job is. He's working at a major university. And there are certain things that you need to refrain from. He's an ex-athlete. You know, he was a former offensive lineman for the Oklahoma Sooners. And these guys' habits are still there. The womanizing, the messing around, those habits haven't left them. Now, I would be very naive to say that this doesn't happen at other colleges, because this absolutely happens at other universities. But the thing is that if you're winning, it will be hidden. If he would have beaten Ohio State, he would not have gotten fired. Whatever happened would have been swept under the rug. But because he lost to Ohio State, and it looks like he's going to have a very difficult time winning in the Big Ten, even though he was able to win, most of his games this season. But long term, I think Michigan wanted to get rid of him anyway, and they were looking for any reason. This is why I believe they hired private investigators to look into him. Not only that, they probably had people in the athletic department reporting back to the AD and the president, letting them know of his activities. Stop messing with women that you work with, especially if you have a job like Sherrone had at Michigan, where everything that you do is going to be monitored in 2025.
Yeah.
You can't get away with stuff like this, especially if you're not winning. And that's the thing. And that's what Mel Tucker did not, even though Mel Tucker was winning games, but Mel Tucker signed a contract that school desperately wanted to get out of. So they were looking for any reason to fire him, and I believe they were looking for any reason to fire Sherrone Moore. And Sherrone, according to reports, because I'm pretty sure he's going to take them to court, according to reports, and matter of fact, let's get into this article. People. This according to ABC 6. Michigan fired football coach Sherrone Moore on Wednesday after finding evidence of an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. A stunning end to a short up-and-down tenure that saw the Wolverines take a step back on the field after winning the national championship. This conduct constitutes a clear violation of university policy, and UM maintains zero tolerance for such behavior, athletic director Ward Emanuel said. The announcement did not include details of the alleged relationship. Moore, who was 8-5 in his debut season and 9-3 this season, so he won one more game than last season, did not return a message-seeking comment left by the Associated Press. He signed a 5-year contract with a base salary of $5.5 million last year. And this is why it was very important for them to fire him with cause, because if you fire somebody with cause, you don't have to pay them. College football's winningest program is suddenly looking for a third coach in 4 years, shortly after a busy cycle that included Lane Kiffin leaving playoff-bound Ole Miss for LSU. Moore, the team's former offensive coordinator, was promoted to lead the Wolverines after they won the 2024 national title to succeed Jim Harbaugh when he returned to the NFL to lead the Los Angeles Chargers. The 18th ranked Wolverines, 9-3, are set to play number 14 Texas on December 31st in the Citrus Bowl. Moore, in his second season, was suspended for 2 games in 2025 in part of self-imposed sanctions for NCAA violations related to a sign stealing scandal. The NCAA added a 3rd game to the suspension, which will keep Moore off the sideline for next year's opener against Western Michigan. Moore will now miss that game for another reason. He previously deleted his entire 52-message text thread on his personal phone with former staffer Connor Stallions, who led the team's sign-stealing operation for the program. The texts were later recovered and shared with NCAA. I think they wanted to get rid of Moore, not only because long-term they did not think he would be the answer, but I think that the whole sign-stealing thing was still a black eye on Michigan. Even though there were things that may have come out to prove that this was a witch hunt in some cases, but things happened. And I think that they see Moore as a representative of that situation, and I think they want to get rid of him so they can move forward in a different direction.
Yeah, I do believe you're right, Jada Black, on this one and the other ones. So, what have we noticed here is that it's a certain double standard. I mean, when it came to Mel Tucker and that Ohio Bobcat, but this was pretty severe what Sherrone Moore did with that woman. I mean, it's like, and I just want to throw my 2 cents in. It's like, I don't know, between, brothers like black men like them, when you get a position at making good money like that, you have to be very careful. Any man, you gotta be very careful about what's coming at you, because they coming for your money, and they trying to find every way, like the content creators say, of getting rid of you, because they don't want to pay that money. They trying to find any excuse, and like they said, they'll monitor you like I don't know what. And it's really sad that he threw his whole career down the drain over a side woman. And I think it was one other comment created. It's the same thing when in a different sport. Look at what happened to Tiger Woods. I mean, Tiger Woods, he got a woman. His wife was what the brother would say a snow bunny from Switzerland. I think Sweden or Switzerland, one of the places. She was a nanny. He had things going on, and he got caught up with dealing with all these other different women, and it got back to her. You see what that happened about 3 or 4 years. I think it was 4 or 5 years ago. It's like, man, some of these men, they be at the top of the pinnacle, and they really don't want to give it to someone that look like us. And it's like, man, it just how you screw up that kind of money is unbelievable. I mean, you're not like a Brian Kelly or a Nick Saban that they can recover that stuff. They get up to 40, 50 million for a contract. Lane Clifton probably got about 30 million, 40 million. It's like Sherrone Moore. Oh my goodness. It's like over a side chick. Really? It's just, and I'm saying that about the Tiger Woods. And Tiger Woods, when he came back to golf, he ain't never been the same since. And they bashed that dude. They call him a sexual deviant and everything. The disgraced golfer and everything, by him being what he called himself a cowboy Asian, more like the Negro Asian. He called himself cowboy Asian at that time. That's what he said. But they found out what he really, and that stuff was all over national news, international news, what he did. And when you're a man, particularly a black man making that kind of money, the eyes is going to be upon you. And I'm just saying, man, it's just that. But this situation with Sherrone Moore, that's sad that they go out like that over a woman that really ain't your wife. And let me state this for a record. I don't know, some black men, some men in general, but particularly some of our men, seem to seem like when we get the, and I know it's a pattern with this, we get a woman and we got the perfect woman. She could be a black woman, a white woman, or whatever. I don't know when it comes to getting with a white woman. It's like they lose their mind, man. I don't know what. They lose their mind. I don't know what. It's like it's a spell, and it's just that. Not that shouldn't matter. You should, regardless of what woman you be with. But damn, you got a wife. You got a pretty decent looking wife at home. Why you got to go and get more and more Becky's and snow bunnies, as Umar would say? What's up with that, man? It's like, jeez. I don't know, man. It's like when you, it must be, I heard what Steve, I didn't record what he said. It must be something up there in the water in Michigan. Like, what is up with that? Just because of, and you're a high target when you're making that kind of money. You have to, hopefully, you have to use better wisdom with that. And you have to be very careful. And if you're married, I don't care what a woman can say. She can blow your mind and try to be all soft and feminine and everything. You can't really trust these women. And they look at some of these women from every walks of life looking to get a payday off of you. Man, you know what I mean? And you got your little family. You got your significant other. He probably his wife was a pretty good woman. At home, it's like you got one out of the crop. What you keep jumping on these other ones for? And it's like they say you don't know when they set you up. It's like, and he just fell right into the trap. But with his own self-control, more like an Othello, Shakespeare Othello kind of scene. You about to do something crazy. But anyway, the moral of the story is you got some good. Stay faithful to the woman you got. It ain't worth going out here trying to go with all these women, and especially when you're making that kind of money. Women, they'll be. You're like you're like a food to a bunch of vipers. And they'll come and craft against you, and then you being a head football coach over 12 top 10 school, man, that's messed up. That's messed up. Throw it out over something like that. I don't care. Sometimes like they all say, you gotta have self-discipline. And they're not down. And for you, they're down to see what they get from you. And black men, this is something that we need to learn. Men, period, but particularly us, because right now, when we get a little something, it takes somebody from that community to take it away from us within a suit or something like sexual assault, just like that. So it said that he lost his family, he lost his job, his reputation is growing, and like I said, who knows, he's gonna be able to coach again. But the lesson is, sticks. When you find you a good woman, be glad of what you got, because there ain't too many out there. Women can put on a persona, and even I had to really realize over, because I almost fell in the trap a couple of times. Like I had to snatch, thank God I had to snatch me up out of it, because it's so easy. These women are very cunning and crafty what they do when they get what they want. There'll be anything that they want until, the Most High take the mask off and tell them what they're really about. And you see what happened, because he was a person with position, and see he lost his position. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Take care, be blessed. See you on the next video.